bringing right now. We're excited to have him here. The host of MSNBC's The Last Word, Lawrence O'Donnell. Lawrence, thank you for being with us. Really appreciate it. I wanted to ask you two quick questions here before we talk about this extraordinary program that you've been a part of for a decade now. But first, sort of a two-part question. We were just talking before in the last segment about the judicial branch and the fact that that is one institution that seemed to hold over the past 4 years. And I wanted to get a quick insight on how you think the institutions have fared. But let's also talk about what happened this past weekend, the call for martial law, the Army having to tamp that down, and just how concerned you are about what's going to happen over the next 30 days.
Well, working back from that, the Army's statement about that is so extraordinary, Joe. The United States Army having to put out a statement saying we have nothing to do with elections, provoked by news reports of a president in discussions about using the Army to somehow rerun the elections. Or actually, you can't even describe what they were thinking about using the Army for. And when you think about institutions holding, it really is the judiciary that we look at this year and say they really did come through, very solidly all the way through this election controversy. And we can't say that about the Congress. We can't say that about the Senate when it came to the impeachment procedures, and even the way they handled the impeachment trial in the Senate, not allowing witnesses and that sort of thing. And so we learned a lot. We tested a lot in the Trump years. We learned a lot. And I actually think, I think one of the ways you could describe the story of what we've been going through since November 7th, when all the networks showed Joe Biden as the winner, is we've shown Donald Trump and the so-called legal team knocking on every single conceivable door with frivolous lawsuits, with, every one of them was frivolous, and you could just, argue the degree of how frivolous they were, but they knocked on every door they possibly could with the results they had as from the election, and they didn't get anywhere. The system held in every single way in those courts, and so in a way we can say to Trump voters, look, they tried absolutely everything. They tried everything, and there was nothing there. And I think maybe if Donald Trump had only run maybe 1, 2, or 3 cases, that he might even have a better argument to make to his troops about conspiracies involved in the election. But when his troops look at it, they have to say he tried everything. They went to every court they could go to, and there was nothing there. So
Lawrence, you and I have both spent our adult life in politics or covering politics. Like me, I'm sure you never, ever expected to see anything like this. I certainly didn't. Let's talk about you're celebrating a special anniversary, a 10-year anniversary. Tell us about it.
Well, as you know, Joe, on our show, I've been running the Kind Fund, which is something I established in the first year of the show. Kids in need of desks, schools in Africa where the kids have never seen desks, they've never expected to have desks, and we've been delivering them for 10 years now through contributions that people viewers of this network have contributed. This is really entirely an MSNBC audience-created program. We've also combined a scholarship program for girls to attend high school in Malawi, because the high school graduation rate for girls is half the graduation rate for boys, and high school is not free. Public high school isn't free in Malawi and other African countries, and it's a very small amount of tuition, but people living on $2 a day or less in Malawi, which is the majority of the country, most families cannot afford the tuition for high school for any student. And so the need is great, and the MSNBC audience has been really great in meeting that need. And this year, Joe, I've just been reminding people about it, because with the job losses in this country, the tremendous income losses in this country, this isn't a time to be asking people to reach deeper to try to help. But the audience has come through once again this year, very much to my surprise.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.